Senator Joe Manchin is here to weigh in. Now the president finds out the government can't do IT well?
Hey, Brian, with what we're looking at right now is a colossal mess-up. There's no two ways about it. The states that ran their own exchanges, the states that basically took control of their own exchanges, I'm understanding, have done much better and outperformed the federal government 10-1. So with that being said, you just got to want to change. We don't want to go back to what we had, which was basically one of the highest cost delivery systems in the world and the lowest cost performance as far as in wellness. We didn't rank well at all. So, in West Virginia, I don't want to tell people you're one illness away from bankruptcy. Your child can't get covered because they had a defect. Your grandmother who had cancer now can't buy insurance. We can do better than this, but we've got to work together. Democrats and Republicans becoming Americans.
Well, you know what, Senator, you were chief executive for West Virginia. You've run something before. This president, he had the chance, given the fact that we now know he knew ahead of time that it was all screwed up. I think a lot of executives would have said, let's put this off. But Barack Obama said, no, let's go. That was a mistake now, wasn't it?
Well, here's two pieces of legislation I'm part of. First of all, he said that if you have it, you can keep it. I'm taking the president at his word for that, and the American people should too. If he misspoke, then he misspoke, but he's got to fulfill that promise. So myself and Mary Landrieu have said, if you had insurance when the law went into effect, you can keep it. Now, if the market changes and you're shopping and you see a better product, and we're the best shoppers in the world, and you're going to say, oh my goodness, I'm living here in West Virginia, I can go online and buy something better than I had, and I know what I have is inferior, that's fine. And the other thing, there should be a transitional year. This thing's not ready, and it takes time for this, but basically there should be no crime and no fine. The transitional year should be this year here, shop it, get the product right, get the markets right, and basically get the rollout right.
Senator, good morning. It's Elizabeth. I guess the one concern Americans would have is that all these deadlines keep getting missed. Yeah. Okay, so the initial deadline missed. November 30th looks like it could be a miss. To even set those goalposts back a year seems something that many Americans may not even trust. Insurance companies may not trust. Where are we in 1 year if that is met with failure again?
We do have a trust problem. There's no doubt about it. You see it, the rankings of Congress. We're all guilty just being here, whether you're guilty or not. Guilt through association. We just got to work better. We've got to put our country first, Elizabeth. And this is what bothers me more than anything here. I'm a proud West Virginia Democrat, and I've got a lot of great friends who are proud West Virginia Republicans. And I've not met a person up here I didn't like. But we've got to put our country first. We need health care. We need a better health care system. Let's try. Let's try. We, as Democrats and Republicans, we agree the pre-existing condition that you should be able to buy insurance.
Absolutely.
That you shouldn't be capped out.
Yes.
Why can't we come to agreement on those, Steve, and Brian and Elizabeth, and the things we agree on, let's do.
Sure. I know, but you're talking about redoing the plan. You and Senator Kirk, who's a Republican, the only piece of bipartisan legislation that we can see that's out there that you are presenting, that you want people to get together. The way I hear it, and the way I read it online, you're almost saying, over the next year, let's come up with a new plan that looks like a hybrid of what we had and what we want, and doesn't look anything like what Obamacare is.
Well, let's say this. We have certain criteria to meet. The government has decided, and the people who voted for the plan decided this was the minimum of coverage that you had to sell throughout America. A lot of people bought other plans that didn't have quite that coverage, okay? Right, wrong, or indifferent, at least they made an effort to have something. We've got to encourage them to buy a better plan, to be healthier, wellness, preventive care, all these things. We're not encouraging the entrepreneurial spirit or basically the shoppers in us. I'm saying that we've got a product problem. The rollout problem, that's technical. You can fix that, Brian. But if you don't have a product to sell me, if you don't make me want to buy something, I'm a good shopper. I'll look for value. Right. I can make a decision, always have made a good decision, I think, and I'm going to continue to. Give me that opportunity.
Sure.
Don't take for granted I can't make a decision.
Senator, you're right. They should be working together. Of course, this thing got passed with 0 Republicans. But why is it that, aside from you, the only other Democrats who are talking about fixing this, I mean, it seems like a lot of members of your party are in denial, are the ones who are going to be in tough elections next year?
I can't speak for my colleagues. I really can't. Mary Landrieu and I have said this. The promise has been made. If you have it, keep it. You can keep it in perpetuity. Now, my friend Fred Upton said, anybody can go and buy a substandard policy. I said, Fred, we've got to move forward. That's not good. So we can come, you know, Fred's easy to work with. We can come to an agreement. But Mary and I are steadfast on this where we want to be. Mark Kirk and I have said, listen, this is a transition year.
Right.
Don't threaten me with a crime or a fine when you don't have your act together.
Yeah.
It'll take this transitional year. There's nothing wrong with that.
Senator,
and they're
we're
missing
out of
every
time.
deadline.
We're out of time, but here's the problem. The Senate's not going to look at Upton's bill, and the president doesn't like what you always present, so he's not going to talk to you. That's the problem. You disconnect. And I wish we had another 10 minutes, but we don't. But we really appreciate your effort. You're always pushing the ball forward and sharing it with us. Thanks so much.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.